Hello, everybody. My name is Scott, and I work with the Multicultural Association with the employment team as the lead employment coach. Okay, so I wanted to welcome you first thing to the Multicultural Association. I hope you take full advantage of all of our services here, one of them being the employment services. Okay, um, I imagine you're watching this because you have perhaps recently arrived in Canada and you are now in the process of working with the settlement team who is helping you get adjusted to everything here. Um, I I wanted to share with you today a bit about what employment is like in Canada, okay, and a bit more specifically in New Brunswick. Okay, so I put this presentation together for you to be able to see what that might look like. Okay, so we're going to cover a lot of different topics today. Most of them are going to be useful for you when you're starting a new job. Okay, so let's get into it, and we'll continue from here. All right. So the first topic is where to look for job opportunities in Canada or New Brunswick or Fredericton, wherever you are. Okay. But for our purposes, you're going to be most likely looking for job opportunities here in Fredericton. I just wanted you to know that this is useful for all over Canada, though, because the culture doesn't really change across all the provinces. All right. So, what tools to use? The first tool you could use is newspapers. Newspapers, you'll find some job opportunities there. There aren't as many as there used to be because it's not as prevalent or as used as it used to be. Most of the job opportunities you will find will be on online job listings or job sites. Okay. Something like jobbank.ca, Indeed.com, CareerBeacon.com, NBJobs.ca. They're all fantastic websites that you can search for jobs. Okay, so jobbank.gc.ca, that is the federal job bank or job listing website, and they have jobs from all over Canada. Okay, but you can specifically look for jobs in Fredericton or New Brunswick. Okay. Indeed.com is one of the most used sites in all of North America. There are millions of jobs across the United States, Canada, okay? But you can definitely search for for specific areas like Fredericton, okay? And there are probably more jobs on Indeed.com than any other site, right? So that's a good thing to know. CareerBeacon.com is another great site. It's a bit more professional, I find, in how it's laid out. I use CareerBeacon a lot. And then nbjobs.ca, New Brunswick Jobs.ca is what it stands for. And it's jobs that are only for the New Brunswick area. Okay, so I like this one a lot as well. I use CareerBeacon and NB Jobs probably the most personally. All right. You can also look at MCAF bulletin boards, and bulletin boards are where we would physically post uh, a job opportunity, okay, on a piece of paper in the lobby. Since we're not currently in the offices, that might change soon. Your best option is to currently look online, okay? Your second second main option apart from online searching is asking us. So someone like myself who is an employment coach, okay? We know a lot of the job opportunities in the Fredericton area, all right? We talk to employers every day, multiple times a week, and we have a good idea of the job opportunities that are around the city. Okay, so let's say that there is a company that's looking for construction workers. Usually they will contact us and then we can share that information with you. Okay, so always check in with your employment coach because they might have some good opportunities for you to share. All right, next topic is how are you paid for work? All right, so this is a big question. If you start working, how will you be being paid? Okay, so payment methods. What that means is how are you going to be being paid? Usually you'll be being paid by a check or by direct deposit. The other option is cash, okay? But with cash, we do not suggest here at the Multicultural Association that you work for cash, okay? We will try to, if we're looking for work for you, we will not be promoting jobs that pay by cash, okay? Not that it's always bad, but it can be bad, okay? More times than not, if you're paying by cash, it's because you're trying to do something illegal, okay? Or you're trying to avoid taxes or things like that, okay? So we don't suggest that you do jobs that pay cash. We suggest that you do jobs that pay by direct deposit or by check. And direct deposit is the amount of money that you make, your pay, will go directly into your bank account. Okay, so there's no paper trail. It goes directly into your bank account online, and then you can do whatever you want with it. All right, this is my preferred method. It's easy. The money is always in your account at the same time. Okay, so it's a good way to go. Points to remember: ask your employer when and how you'll be being paid. Okay, when you start working. So when you get paid every week or every 2 weeks or every month. Okay, you need to ask when that'll happen so that you can create some kind of routine around your life. Okay, if you are being paid every 2 weeks, well, then you know that you maybe have to buy groceries every 2 weeks. Okay, or food, right? If you are being paid every month, well, then you might have to reorganize the way that you live your life. Okay, so 2 weeks is usually how people are paid, every 2 weeks. Okay, I would say 85 to 90% of jobs pay every 2 weeks, but you might find that yours pays every week or every month. Okay, so ask this question because it's important. It helps you be able to build a routine and help you pay your bills and all that stuff. Most starting jobs will have an hourly wage. It is okay to ask what that amount is. Okay, so an hourly wage is the amount of money you will be making per hour that you're working. Okay, so in New Brunswick, the minimum wage, as you see at the bottom of the screen here, I'll highlight it with my mouse, is $11.70. Okay, the amount of money changes depending on the province that you're in. So it's different in Quebec, in Nova Scotia, and Ontario. Okay, they're different. But for New Brunswick, it's $11.70. Okay, in April of this year, it was $11.50, and then it moved up since. Okay, so the amount changes every year, every couple of years, a bit higher. Okay, deductions. This is the other side. So you make money, and well, then you're also going to have money that's taken away from your pay. Okay, so let's talk about that. Taxes. Taxes are an important part of Canada's social welfare system. Okay, what that means is that taxes are important to how we live life here in Canada. Our taxes, they pay for free healthcare. They pay for things like EI, employment insurance. They pay for things like the pension program. Okay, I'll explain these things afterwards. But the money that the government takes from our pay with taxes goes to things like that. Okay, so that we can afford things like universal free healthcare. Or sorry, just free healthcare, not universal. So a tax is an amount of money that's taken from your account or from your pay, okay? And it goes to the government to help pay for those things. Every working person in Canada has to pay taxes, okay? Everybody. And so it's a bit more fair that way, but yes. So you will receive a breakdown of the money that was deducted from your pay. This document is called a pay stub, okay? That's what it's called. You will have a piece of paper that shows you exactly where the money is being taken, okay, and where it's going. All right, so I'll show you what a pay stub is afterwards, but you will see your money that you've earned, sorry, and then you will see the money that's being deducted, okay, on the same document, which again is called the pay stub. Deductions that are taken from your pay or in the pay cycle are things like federal income tax. Okay, that's the amount that the generic tax that goes to the federal government. Okay, then you have CPP. All right, this is the Canadian pension program. Okay, it is for people who are of age, who are at a higher age, perhaps close or reaching that point to the retirement. If you're retired, you will be receiving payments from the government. Okay, and that's what your pension is. So about a small amount of money comes out from everybody's pay to help people who are retired still have a living wage so that they can pay for things like rent or food, right? So we don't want those people to not be able to pay for those things. So that comes from each of our pays. Then we have EI, employment insurance. Employment insurance is for people who are unable to work, okay? So let's say I get laid off I don't have my job anymore because I was let go. I might be able to get some money from my local provincial government or federal government, I believe, federal, and they're going to help me still make ends meet. What I mean by that is still be able to pay for things. So I will receive money in the form of employment insurance to help me pay for the things I need to pay for until I find a new job. Okay, so it's to help people who are in the middle of trying to find a job again after they lost something. EI can also help with an injury as well, I believe. You will find that if you're injured, you're not able to work, you need to still be able to make some money, right? And then there's group insurance plans, and that is depending on where you work. If you work for a company that has an insurance plan, you'll be paying a little monthly amount to pay for that insurance, okay? So that was a long explanation of deductions. They do happen, you will see them, and this is what that document looks like. This is a pay stub or a pay statement, okay? On the left side here, okay, sorry, I will show you what it looks like for your earnings. So this is the amount of hours you've worked, the amount of, the amount of money you're making per hour, and then the amount of hours you've worked, and then the amount of money you've made. On this side, you have the deductions, okay? So you see CPP, EI, tax, and healthcare. These amounts here are removed from your pay, and that's normal. It happens to everybody, okay? So don't be afraid when you see them. It's very normal. Every Canadian citizen pays. Most people who are newcomers who are working pay this as well, okay, all of them. All right, so it's very normal. Next, we're going to be talking about examples of a Canadian resume, okay? So Canadian resumes are not just fancy resumes made in Canada. It just means that the culture here calls for a certain type of resume. They're very similar to other North American countries, okay? The United States, I'm sure they have very similar resumes to us. I'm sure it's very similar to other resumes in Europe as well, but it might be different in other areas. If you're coming from China, for example, the resume might be different. If you're coming from a country in Africa, you might be having a different resume there as well, okay? So this is just to show what it would look like here, or what we look for. So as you see at the top left here, I have my name, and the top right I have, well, this is not my name, but a name, and then you have your contact information, okay? Then we have something we would call a summary or an objective, okay? And it's just a little story about who you are or what you want to do with your, well, with your life, okay? If you want to be, let's say you are, let's take the example here, this person is an early childhood educator, okay? They work with children, okay, at a young age. So this person's goal might be to make sure that kids are learning the proper methods, and making sure that the kids or the children are very well taken care of, and they're taught really important concepts about life, right, from a young age. That could be something you could write there. Here it says that this person's goal is to create a healthy learning environment for young learners, okay? So that would be something there. Then we have skills and proficiencies. So what things you're good at, okay? You don't have to be worried about bragging. You need to mention the things that you're good at on a resume, okay? Then we have experience. This would be your working experience. So if you've worked at multiple different companies, multiple different areas, you would list them here, okay? So this person was a childhood educator at this place, and these are the things that she did, okay? Again, this person was an early childhood educator at this other place, and these are the things that she did, okay? Or he did, sorry. Then we have your education. If you did university, or if you did college, or if you did high school, the highest level of education you're going to put here, okay? And that's pretty much it, okay? That's a resume. We'll be able to help you with that if you ask, but this is what a lot of employers are looking for. Okay, this is another example. The same information, you have your objective, your skills, your working or professional experience, your education. Okay, and then your contact information and your name at the top. Okay, You'll see that I use a bit of color in my resumes because I find that it attracts the eye and makes things worth looking at. So not too much color, but a little bit of color is good. Next, health and safety, and then employee rights. Okay, so health and safety is very important, especially when you're starting work. You need to learn all of the laws and the regulations about the company you're going to be working for, because it is their responsibility to keep you safe. It is also your responsibility to keep yourself safe. Okay, so let's go over that. Employers and workers must follow laws to protect workers from unsafe conditions. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that the person you're working for needs to make sure that you're safe. Also, you need to follow all the rules to make sure that you're not putting the employer in an awkward position where you're doing something unsafe. Okay, you can refuse to do work if the conditions are unsafe. Okay, so an example would be a construction site. Okay, if you're at a construction site and you're doing something dangerous, like working in and around heavy things, heavy objects, heavy machines, sharp objects, if something you feel you're doing is unsafe, you can say, I don't want to do this. Okay, you can refuse to do that. And the employer cannot force you to work or cannot take away your pay because you don't want to do work. But you have to be honest about it being unsafe. You can't just say that something is unsafe because you don't want to work, right? But if you don't feel comfortable, you can say, I don't want to work, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? So next, you must wear safety equipment when asked to or when needed. For example, a helmet, okay? Most of the time, your employer will provide you with the safety equipment you need, okay? So again, if you're working on a construction site, your employer should provide you with a helmet, some glasses for your eyes, some gloves for your hands, some boots for your feet, okay? And if they don't provide that, then you are not allowed to go onto the site unless you have those things, okay? Another example would be if you're a nurse, especially during these COVID-19 times, if you're in a condition where you're exposed to another patient who, and you don't have the proper equipment, you can say, no, I don't want to work, I don't have the proper equipment, or I will work, but only if you give me the proper equipment, right? If you are injured on the job or become sick because of the job, you may qualify for compensation, okay? What this means is that if you do get injured and you're unable to work, there are organizations and there are protocols or things in place for you to still be paid while you're recovering, okay, or getting better. But you need to make sure that you report your injury to the employer immediately. So again, construction site, if, for example, you fall on a nail and the nail goes through your hand and you hurt your hand, you need to tell your employer immediately, and you need to get onto that that recovery program, okay, that allows you to still get paid while you're recovering from home. Protection from unfair treatment. So this is going back to the employee rights, okay, so this is not so much health and safety, but more employee rights. Oops, sorry. So you cannot be discriminated against because of race, ancestry, place of origin, citizenship, creed, sex, age, record of offenses, marital status, family status, disability, sexual orientation, whatever. Okay, you cannot be discriminated against. It's illegal and it's incorrect and it should not exist in your workplace. Okay, so if somebody is giving you a hard time because of your race, you can report that. There are people you can report to. Okay, if somebody is being mean to you, harassing you, calling you names because of your sex or because of your disability or whatever, you need to tell somebody, okay, because those people will be dealt with. It's against the law. All right, so talk to your supervisor, talk to your manager. They will help you and they will guide you, or they will make sure that your story is heard. If the person who is calling you names or being disrespectful to you is your supervisor or manager, come talk to me, or come talk to somebody at the Multicultural Association, a settlement worker, an employment coach, and we will find you the information to the Canadian Human Rights Commission for the city of Fredericton, okay? And then you can explain your situation to them and they will do something about it. Credential assessment. I'm not going to spend some time talking about credential assessment because it's a long explanation. If you have qualifications, or if you have training or certificates that you have received in your home country and you want to have them assessed here in Canada, then you can come talk to myself and I'll point you to the right person, okay? But we're not going to get into explaining this too much. If that is you, if you have a background, a professional background or a trades background from your home country and you want to do that kind of work here, come talk to us and we will have this conversation with you, okay? So that is all for today. I do want to mention that we are not currently at the office, but that will change soon. And when we are at the office, you can find us in room 212. Until then, you can send us an email. You can ask for a video meeting, okay? And when we get back into the office, we can make meetings there. I also want you to go check out our Facebook page, okay? Let me just show you what that would look like, okay? You're going to see a few personal things here, and I apologize, but just as we get to the page, there we go. Okay, so this is the Facebook page. As you see, we post things every day, okay? We post job opportunities, we post trainings, we post information sessions, we post employer information sessions. We post a lot of things, and like I said, every day. 2 hours ago, 21 hours ago, 22 hours ago, there's many things that are posted every day. This was posted earlier today as well. So you'll see as you scroll down, there are job opportunities that are available now in the city of Fredericton, okay? So this is a really good way to get to know job opportunities here, and also to follow what we share on a daily basis, okay? So that you can be aware of programs or trainings that we're offering, okay? So I suggest that you definitely do that. All right. So I want to thank you for taking the time. Thank you for the organizers for putting this together. Whoever the settlement person is, thank you for sharing this with our clients or our future clients. And if you have any questions, just let us know, okay? Again, my name is Scott. I work with the Multicultural Association with the Employment Services team. You can contact any of the employment coaches, all right? And we will hopefully be able to help you. All right, take care.